Beatles, 8 Days a Week, The Touring Years is a documentary film directed by Ron Howard, and the documentary is about the Beatles during their touring years between 1962 and 1966. And for the most part, this documentary is a very solid documentary. It has a great amount of detail, a great amount of nostalgia, and it's very informative for anyone who's ever wanted to know how the band worked back in the 60s during their tours. And I know there have been tons of Beatles documentaries for years, but in my opinion, this is the first one that I've seen that mainly focuses on the band itself, their music, and their tours. And it also shows the hardships this group went through during this time period. And while this film briefly goes into the Beatles' personal lives, it's only brief and it's not the main focus. And the thing I liked most about this documentary is they use unused footage and unseen footage of the Beatles. And this documentary also includes interviews from the only two living Beatles members left, Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney, while also using old footage of George Harrison and John Lennon in interviews. Like I said, this is a very solid documentary, and I haven't seen a lot of documentary films this year, but I would definitely say The Beatles, 8 Days a Week, The Touring Years is one of the top documentaries of this year. It's not exactly perfect, like there were some things that bothered me about it, but the one thing I think this film could have benefited more from is if it was longer, with more information and more insight into the band itself. But again, it's a nitpick, and I felt like they should have expanded it more and made this documentary a little bit longer. Overall, this is a very solid documentary with great insight into the band, their songs, and their tours. It's worth checking out. Although, if you're not into the Beatles, I would probably say skip it, but if you're a big fan of the Beatles and you love their music and you have great respect for them, I would absolutely recommend this. This is the perfect Beatles documentary out there, and I'm going to give the Beatles 8 Days a Week, The Touring Years, a 9.5 out of 10. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, be sure to like my Facebook page, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to my channel below. As always, I'm NETX5. Thank you for watching.